Welcome to 7 Pot Club. I'm Rob.
I grow hot peppers.
It's peak summer in our front yard hot pepper garden. But today we're getting some much needed rain, so it's a great chance to stay inside and check on the status of our hydroponic hot pepper plants growing in our AeroGarden. Just a quick reminder to like and subscribe. And now let's get started.
My roots are in the water, but I'm reaching for the sky.
Here's our AeroGarden Bounty Wi-Fi as it looks on day 270 after planting. That means it's been about 9 months since I unboxed and set up the AeroGarden. Let's recap what's happened since. On day 1, I planted a combination of herbs and hot peppers. Fast forward to day 47. The pre-seeded AeroGarden herb pods I planted grew so much faster than the peppers, hogging all the light and available space. I removed the fast-growing herbs to give the 4 pepper plants room to grow. I figured out right away that herbs and pepper plants are not ideal companions in this compact unit. The varieties: dwarf chiltepin, matafrade, cap 214, and ahi charapita. Every week or two, I did a little pruning to try to shape the plants and give each one its own space. But as you'll see, keeping them separated proved to be impossible as they grew larger and taller. On day 116, I harvested the first ripe pepper from the AeroGarden, this dwarf chiltepin. It tasted amazing.
Wow, that's surprisingly hot. And delicious.
The plants were looking great on day 162, but the matafrade and ahi charapita were still dropping all their buds and not bearing any pods. So I tried some hand pollination. I know you can just use your fingers, but a friend gifted us with this adorable Bee the Bee battery-powered device, and I just had to try it out. For a while, I was even running a fan every day. What finally seemed to help was switching nutrients to Fox Farm Tiger Bloom. This encouraged fruiting. We were very happy when we began to find and then enjoy ripe matafrade peppers, one of my very favorites. Days passed, and although the outdoor pepper crop was commanding most of our attention, I continued to prune and pick. It's amazing how much foliage these plants generate. Look at all this just from one trimming. Kaisa was hoping it was catnip. This was also the day I added auxiliary lighting. Our gooseneck grow lights were no longer needed to illuminate just emerging seedlings, so I repurposed them to light the plants on the sides where the main light wasn't providing adequate illumination. Day 270. Only the cap 214 is still steadily pumping out its tiny but hot pods. The matafrade finally kicked into gear several weeks back, but now it's slowed down and is only occasionally producing new peppers. The dwarf chiltepin and ahi charapita are back to dropping their buds again. No matter what I've tried, I haven't been able to coax these plants into the prolific pepper production I'd hoped for. They're looking very healthy, but if I'd wanted decorative houseplants, that's what I'd grow. I'm not afraid to take drastic action because it's late July and I have 200 outdoor plants pumping out fresh peppers. So I'm going to remove the 2 plants that aren't producing and see what happens to the remaining 2. The roots have all grown together, so it's going to take some pretty extensive surgery to extricate them, and the shock just might kill them all. The AeroGarden needs a good cleaning, and I've been planning on starting a new grow soon. So there's really nothing to lose if this experiment goes awry. First, I'm going to remove the auxiliary lighting. I'm not sure if it really helped, but I'd try it again if the plants ever got this tall. Now comes the above-deck surgery. Extricating these plants is not all that easy because the branches are all intertwined. It's like a puzzle untangling them. But finally, I'm able to remove all the branches from both plants. Now, I'll trim back the plants I'm going to keep. In the process, I found this hidden Matafrade I had previously missed. Yum. The pruning is completed, so I'll clean up the mess a little before I crack open the lid and separate the roots in order to complete the removal process. I don't want this debris to fall into the tank. Later, we picked through this box of foliage and retrieved the peppers I missed while pruning. Now, time to head below deck. There's an incredibly thick mass of roots under here. After much ripping and chopping, I'm finally able to extricate the ahi charapita from the unit. I can't imagine the remaining plants are going to react well to having their roots disturbed this way. Next, I'll perform a similar extraction on the dwarf chiltepin. Then I add water and a little fertilizer to bring the level back up to full. It's actually easier to pour the water into one of the plant holes instead of the opening under the flap on the corner, but opening the flap lets you see when you've reached the fill line. You may have noticed me sticking my finger in the hole. Because it's hard to see in there when the plants get large, I've adopted the "is my finger wet" method to determine when to stop adding water. Here are the remains of the dwarf chiltepin. I should be able to remove and reuse this grow basket. You can see on the charapita how the roots have grown right through the sponge that sits inside of the basket. So here's how the remaining plants look post-extraction. In the next AeroGarden update, you'll see how these plants reacted to the major trauma of having their buddies removed from their home. I'm sure you'll want to see what's ripening outside in the hot pepper garden, and we'll show you in a new episode that we'll be posting in about a week. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel and tap the bell so that you'll receive a notification each time we post a new episode. We now have all sorts of hot pepper related merch available in lots of designs and colors, so if you're interested, please head over to 7pot.club/merch to learn more. And for even more 7-Pot Club, follow our daily updates on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. For 7-Pot Club, I'm Rob.